Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In this project we're going to use some of Anna Griffin's Trelliage die cut to make a gorgeous card. Something a little bit different, and I want to show you a couple of tricks where you can sort of be economical with your card. Everything I do use I shall put in a detailed list on my blog. Please be sure to check it out. Please share the projects. I always forget to mention this. Any projects that you like, please feel free to share with your crafty friends. You can either share them from YouTube or share them from my blog. If you've ever got any comments or anything to say, please feel free. I can reply on my blog and on Facebook, but I can't reply on YouTube. I do read them all and I do click like and I publish them. I just can't reply because there's a glitch on my account. Okay, as I always say, that's the housekeeping out the way, the boring bits. Now we can play and have some fun. So the first thing that you're going to need is your base card. I'm using a 7x5 inch white card, and for my friends across the pond that's 5x7. So I call it 7x5 because that's just me, and this is my favourite size of card. On my cardometer, and this is something for new viewers, something I've created so it shows you at home the size that I'm using, and it gives you perspective so that you can sort of tell what size it is. The largest size is the A4, then we go down to the A4 folded in half, which is the A5, or for my friends across the pond, the A3, and then the next size down is the 7x5. So that's the size that we're going to use. And as always, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to give it a good sharp crease along the edge to make sure that it's going to stand proud on that mantelpiece. And my bone folder is from the Anna Griffin tool set, so just so you know. So that's our base card that we're going to use, and as always we're going to start with the inside. Now I've got to say this is going to be a very pretty inside, and it's got quite a good trick in it for any new viewers that have never seen me create the inside. We like to make sure our insides are just as pretty as the outside, because let's face it, when we give a card and we write inside it, the person that we're giving the card to, it's personal to them, and it shows them that, you know, we've made an effort for them, not just on the outside, but we can make the insides pretty too. So our base card is white, but the insert layer that I've cut is ivory. So for anybody that's a little bit hung up on not using ivory and white together, now's your chance to give it a go, because I've used the ivory and then I've inked the edge with an ink pad just to give it a slight tone to bring the eye in. So I've put flat tape on the back of our insert panel, and then I'm just going to attach it and put it inside. Oops, my tape remnants are running away. So I'm just going to attach it to the centre of the inside like that and press it down. Now for I'm going to skip a little bit here. For the front of the card I'm going to use one of Anna's foil layers, but I've taken the middle section out, and the middle section is this section. I've put it through the Xyron machine, and where I've taken it from the centre of the foil layer, I've just slightly trimmed it to make it look as though it's like a scallop effect, but I can assure you the sides are actually straight. It's a little bit of an illusion there. And I'm going to pop this in the centre of our card like so, and you can see there's a big hole in the middle where I've die cut a circle and made an aperture for one of the die cuts that's in the Trelliage kit, and I've die cut this as well to make sure that it fits. I've put it through the Xyron machine and I'm slotting it into the circle that we've cut, so that just sits in nicely, nice and flush. And then the last thing for the inside is one of the Trelliage Floral die cuts. I've die cut it. I've taken it through the Xyron machine as it is, and I've simply just added the glue, and then I can add that to one side of our sentiment, and that's the inside of our card finished. So we've still got room for your to and your from. Tiny message, but I would say if you're going to write an essay for this one, you know, do it on a separate piece of paper, because this is such a pretty card and there's not so much room in the centre for your swearing your undying love, or how much you miss the person, or how fantastic you want the day to be, etc. So it's just a to and a from message. So now we can go to the front of our card. I've been asked this week why it seems that I rush when I talk. It's only because I have a lot to say and I try to fit it all in. I do normally chatter away, but it's as I'm remembering something to mention, I say it, and then it's as if I'm interrupting myself. So you just have to go with it. As you've watched many a video and you've got to know me, you know I normally just chatter away, and I can't help what comes out of my mouth. There we go. So, okay, so now we've turned our attention to the front of our card. You saw me using the bone folder again to make sure that we've still got a nice sharp edge along the side of the card. Our first layer is going to be the foil layer that I've just shown you, that we took the centre out of for the centre of the card. Now what I have done with this, I've actually just inked it slightly with the same colour ink that I've used for the inside. It just, I don't know, it just brings your eye in, or it will do for this. It'll just make it all, it would tone in anyway without the inking. But I've just added the ink to show you that you can ink them, and it will just tone in with the inside. I've got flat adhesive tape on the back. I haven't trimmed this to any size, so it is still a 7x5 inch layer, and it's going to sit on the front of our card and cover the card. So I'm just going to turn that round slightly so I can see to pop it in the corner like that, and press it down. There we go. So that's the first layer of our card. Now, a couple of projects ago, I used a flock border, and I said I'd saved it for the middle. I'm sorry, I'd saved the section of the middle for a project in the future, because I think it was a Valentine's project, the last Valentine's project that we did. But this is the middle that I saved, and I've trimmed it to fit the size I want, and that will cover the inside of our foil layer. So it will cover the actual aperture that we've cut through the centre of the foil, so we don't have to worry about anybody seeing a gap. I've also taken the flock layer through my Xyron machine for the adhesive. The Xyron machine will not affect the flock at all. It will not crush it or flatten it. You just put it through as normal. Make sure you break the seal around the edge and peel it off. Always have it image or flock face upwards because the adhesive is underneath. So, you know, just follow your instructions on your Xyron machine. So that's our flock layer that covers the centre of our foil layer and the aperture that we created on it. Next, I've taken one of the all heart layer dies, and it's the one with the lattice centre. I do like this die, very useful. Now I've put tape on two sides, two corners of the die, because these corners are going to be covered over and you won't be able to see them when the embellishments are over. and it will hold it in place. So I'm just going to pop it over the centre of the flock that we've just added, like that, and press it down. Okay, so don't worry about these sides because we want a little bit of movement in it anyway. Next, I've got a circle of green glitter card from Anna, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back of this on top of the 3D foam, and then I'm going to pop it through the centre of our lattice like that. Now I'm only adding the extra little bit of glue because it's going onto flock. Sometimes flock can be a little bit difficult to stick to. So can glitter card. So for the sentiment that I've got, again from the Trelliage collection of die cuts, I've got that on 3D foam, and I'm also going to add a little bit of glue onto that as well, just to help it stick onto the glitter card. And then I can pop my sentiment on top of the glitter card and press it down. There we go. Then from the Trelliage kit again, I've got two gorgeous florals, and I've got 3D foam on the back of them, and I'm simply going to add these around the outside of our sentiment, and we're covering, if you remember, the tape that's on the lattice layer. So the second one will sit at the top like this around the layer. There we go, roughly about there. There we go. And then we can finish it off with a gorgeous bow. Now we've got quite a few choices here where we can add our bow. We can either add it at the end, here, or at the top. I'm going to go for underneath because I think it just kind of balances it out, and I might go for actually on the sentiment. I think if we go for on the sentiment, there we go. That'll take a minute or two to stick on the glitter card underneath, and that's our card finished. And I think it's a pretty card, such a pretty card, such pretty florals, and something a little bit different in different colour tones, and it'll stand up nicely. It'll definitely go on a mantelpiece. You might need a little bit of padding. We've got an extra depth of decoupage in the centre for the sentiment, but it's not too heavy. It's heavier than some, but it's not as heavy as it could be. But we have got a little bit of foam on there, so it makes it a bit heavier. But it's still such a beautiful card, very pretty. The gold catches the light, and I like that. I like that colour combination. We've just done one that had a little bird in it, and I like that colour combination, the pink and the blue. But I like pink and green as well. So I just, there's something about it, it makes it stand out. So I do hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope it's given you an idea of how you can use different things that you've got in your Anna Griffin stash, because I know we all have so many different products, and it's nice to be able to mix and match with them and to see how they all work together, and then we can just keep collecting and using them in different ways, not always as straightforward as we could use them, but just in different ways. So please share if you've enjoyed this. Please share any of my projects. I'm trying to sort of give it the year of the share this year. If you share as many of my projects as you can, that would be great. Thank you. And I do appreciate you watching. I appreciate comments, and I appreciate that you enjoy my videos, because I enjoy making them. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you again next time.